I mean, come on. This is like every grocery store trip, every trip to the dentist. So, first time I heard this song, I went to see Mark Jordan, great Canadian songwriter. He was playing in Toronto. I went by myself, and I remember it was obviously before I had a record out, but it was also not a long time after I had started playing music professionally. I was maybe like 19, maybe 20. I can't remember why I ended up, it was at a church, the name of which I cannot remember right now, but it's a church at Bloor and Spadina. And I remember sitting in the loft part of the church, like the choir loft, and Mark was playing with his band, and I'd never seen him play before. I knew who he was. I knew he was a tremendously gifted songwriter. And they played a few songs. This song was about halfway through the set, and he played two songs, another one of which also ended up on the record. But they started playing this song. His original version was really different. It was really slow. It was almost like a ballad. But I loved it. Like immediately, I just loved it. So this was a handful of songs that I had in my back pocket when I went to LA to make the record, before I ever met Dave or Chris Ward or any of the other people who contributed to the album. And what I remember about it was, I remember Dave and I sort of agonizing over the arrangement of what it should be, and he was adamant that it should be faster, which I hadn't really thought of. I really liked Mark's original version, but he was like, it's got to be faster. And I can't remember exactly what change we made in the bridge, but I know that we made a significant change. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember like haggling and sort of, really not agonizing over it, but just paying a lot of attention to how we were going to arrange it and who was going to play on it, and we added all those background vocals, which we haven't gotten to yet. But we added it. There was a section of background vocals. I don't think there were any background vocals on the original demo. And the way I remember it is, I really liked the song, but not everybody loved the song, but I was committed. I really, really loved the song. And so it was kind of like we'll try it and we'll see if it works. And then when we had it, it was obvious. The other thing I remember is Chris Lord-Alge mixing it. Chris Lord-Alge is a huge, really well-respected mixer, and to be working with him was a real privilege. And he and I really got along. I really dug him. He was great. And he sort of brought his own kind of twist, his own vision. And sometimes you get a mixer like that who has like a real stamp, who has like a really identifiable kind of footprint that they leave on music. And Chris is one of those people. So that for me was a huge part of the song ending up the way it did, because Chris took our mix and he really, he brought up the strings, and he brought up those background vocals at the end. He had a very specific idea of what all the levels should be, which really changed the whole kind of feel and vibe of the song. The thing I loved about it, and the thing I love about the final version versus the demo, was that it really had that it really had that kind of, that little pocket that it sat in so beautifully. And Chris really got that. He really sort of exaggerated that and brought up all of the syncopation that really made it kind of groove and really made it sing. Yeah, it's a great, great song, and Mark is a very, very talented songwriter. I'm so happy that I got to, steal it first.
Thanks for watching Behind the Vinyl. We have got a ton more episodes available to you. Your favorite artists with your favorite stories. And here's the thing, we're updating Behind the Vinyl all the time. So if you want to stay up to date on that, simply subscribe by clicking right up here. And you can do us a huge favor by sharing some Behind the Vinyls on your socials. Thanks.